you watch will bring to the table on the offense and defensive side of the ball. Since the JV does run a more simplified version of the offense, you'll get a feel of what the offenses will run for the respective varsity teams, but it might not be the exact same thing we see tomorrow. But this will be a very good indication to see what Steve Kirsten is going to cook up on his side of the ball for the JV game. And then, of course, we can't forget Mason's coaching staff being just as good, if not better, at doing the exact same thing. So this will give you a really good look for tomorrow night, but it won't give you an exact representation.
Mason, of course, has that long streak. Way towards that. Both these offenses for the varsity squad led by quarterbacks that like to air it out. Caleb Nielsen for the Hornets, Kaysen Carter for the Bulldogs. 5 wide. They'll try to throw the ball around the yard a little bit, more of a balanced pro-style attack than you've seen a lot of high school offenses. It'll be interesting to see how much of that is reflected in the JV tonight. And there's always the possibility that you're watching a future star for a state championship caliber team. Mason and Williamston, that is coming up right now on Lansing TV 12. We're very happy to have with Mason, dressed in all blue. Williamston in the green helmets, white shirts, green pants.
It appears that Mason will kick it off right here. There was some confusion. Mason was about to send out their kick return team, but they just switched it out and got their kickoff team out there.
So Williamston will move left to right across your screen in this first quarter. John Dunlap deep to return for the Hornets. Land will handle kickoff duty. Witt. They'll be unhappy with the result. They lost 43-7. Looking to right the ship on the JV side here tonight against the Hornets. Lansing Catholic in their opener played Hastings a week ago. Ball's on the tee. Rice puts his foot into it. We're underway. It'll hit the ground at the 11 and be fielded by Dunlap. Dunlap over the 20, angling to his left over the 27-yard line. They'll spot him there, and it'll be first.
That's a great job by Destin Watson Vital to get down there and get the tackle for the Bulldogs on about the 25-yard line. That's a great job from him.
Spotted up at the 28, and that is where this Hornets offense will take over. Max Sink split out to the right. Shotgun motion for the Hornets. Handoff up the middle, and there's no room in the end. Loss of a yard on the play. Max Kinninger, the quarterback. Cooper Rowland loses a yard. Starting running back for the Hornets today. A little more personnel for JV than it is for varsity. So we'll sort out starting lineups as we see them. In motion is John Dunlap out of the slot. They'll hand it to him over the 30. He's got some room. Lowers the boom over the 37-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 10. Down. Under 11 to go, first quarter. Williamston football. Getting at an early 1. Matt Dunlap Matt Kinninger, the quarterback, Cooper Rowland, the running back. Out of the shotgun, hand up, over the left side, got some room over the 40, over the 45, still going down over midfield. Over the 45 to the 44 goes Cooper Rowland. That's going to be a gain of 19 and a first down for the Hornets.
It's a great job there from Carter Kilman to get there. He's a defensive back for Mason. He was the last man in defense to bring down the Hornet running back. That's a great job.
Garrett Coate entering the fray for the Bulldogs defense. He's going to replace Colton Tyrell in at safety. 4 receiver set for the Hornets, trip set to the right. Kinninger in the gun, takes the snap. Lefty throws, right side. It's in and out of the hands, up at the 42-yard line, incomplete. Pass intended for Tyler Schneider.
Carter Kilman in there again. That was a great pass breakup from him. 2 plays in a row. That's a great job from him.
Yeah, they trust Kilman in both pass defense and run stopping. He's a flexible guy that they're going to move around at the second level. Man in motion, handoff up the middle. This is Rowland. Rowland going to get hit in the hole and dropped for a gain of 1. And that'll bring up third down for the Hornets once more. 9 yards to go, 9.5 to go first quarter, no score.
Football, third down, 9.
Grayson Mann split out to the right for the Hornets. 2 receivers set to the left. Shotgun set for Kinninger. Takes the snap. The give around the left side. Rowland only gets up to about the 41-yard line. Gain of, call it 2, and that'll bring up 4th and 7.
I'm a little surprised that they went with that play call there in that situation. If we remember what the varsity was going into in those third and long situations last week, it was much more pass heavy in the third and long areas. I'm surprised they went with the run play there.
And that's something that we're seeing more at the pro level is on third and medium or third and even long. You'll run the football and see what you get. And if you get close enough, maybe you'll go for it on 4th down, kind of planning for 4th down, try to keep the playbook more open. But this time they decide to punt it away. Tyler Schneider puts his foot into it. It'll be fielded at the 9. Some room over the 15. Tackle made there by John Dunlop. Brett Camp on the return. 32-yard punt for Tyler Schneider. And a 6-yard return for Camp. It'll be Mason football at their own 16-yard line. Their first possession of the game, quarterback Garrett Coate going to lead the offense. I'd like to thank our community sponsors for tonight's game, the Studio Shop and Robert Dowding Group at Keller Williams Realty. 8.25 to go here in the first. I formation for Coate. Takes the snap, give, left side, trying to shed that tackle right at the point. But nothing doing, loss of a yard for Colton Tyrell.
That's a heck of a job from Trevor Doucette. That is a great play there from the freshman, breaking through the first level of blockers and getting straight into the backfield, instant contact on that run.
Like, you have to meet the runner, coming at you with a full head of steam, running downhill, but he met him in the hole, stood him up, didn't let him get anywhere. No gain in the first. Set for Coate in the shotgun. Williamston showing blitz. Here they come rushing 6, handoff to Tyrell, and they snuff that out immediately all the way back at the 10-yard line, loss of 5. Williamston showed blitz. Coate did not check out of the sweep, out of the slot. And they lose 5 to bring up third long.
That's a great play there from the defensive tackle. Hudson Eastwood caught up to the receiver at that little pop pass mesh point. Hudson Eastwood, great tackle there, catching up with those faster players from his defensive line position.
for the 30, 35-yard line. First down and a lot more. 45, sheds a tackle down to the 46-yard line. That's a gain of 35 on the play. Connor Vondra, his favorite target. Hornets dropped off into what looked like kind of a...
Yeah, it looked almost like a cover 4 type thing, but no linebacker came out to cover the flat. Just a bunch of space for Vondra there, and that was an easy pickup for him. Basically no pressure at all until he got about 10 yards downfield.
Open it up, spread the field, throw the ball. AV kinds of throws. Back talent because they know how important it is at the varsity level. 3 receiver set for Coate. Takes the snap. Delayed handoff. Met in the backfield and somehow fighting up to the line of scrimmage on the carry is Boone Smith.
Hudson Eastwood getting in there again. First got to get contact from a defensive line position. He is destroying the Mason offensive line right now. That's a heck of a job from him.
Coate in the gun with Brett Camp in the slot on that side. Sending a man in motion. It's Tyrell all the way across the formation. Coate rolls to his left, throws, wants him underneath, got him at the 44-yard line. First down, maybe. It depends on the spot. Connor Vondra. James, that's a gain of 10.
That's a good job from Luke Criscuolo. That's a heck of a job from the DB. Instant contact. A little unlucky with the spot if you're a Williamston fan, but that's a heck of a job from your defensive back. Really hard coverage and a really terrific catch from Connor Vondra.
Didn't change his... He set up and threw the way he's supposed to despite rolling across from where he wants to actually throw the football. Fakes the give. Coate keeps it himself. Sheds a tackle and falls forward to the 42-yard line. Almost broke free. Gain of 3 on the run. That'll bring up 2nd and 7.
One thing I've just noticed is that they've brought Max Sink. He plays wide receiver on the offensive side, but he's playing defensive end, edge rushing for the Williamston Hornets. And, he's a really big presence. He's probably the tallest player they got out there. It's an interesting move that they just subbed him in that last play.
2 receivers for Mason. I formation, tight end set to the left. They got the wing receiver on this side way off the line of scrimmage. Coate takes the snap. He's going to throw quick side. Incomplete. Wanted Carter Killman over here on the near side of the field. Missed him. 3rd down.
Jude, I just subbed in for, I believe, Dylan Ball on the defensive side for Williamston. That's a big body. They're expecting, if I was to guess, they're expecting a pass play here, but it seems like they just brought in more run defense. So that they might be thinking what similar to what they did on 3rd down, 3rd and long run play here.
Quarter. Heavy set with 2 H-backs. Now they motion one of them. Rolling to his right. Coate sets up, throws all the way across, setting up the screen for Tyrell. He's got room. Over of 13. That is a Friday night concept that we're seeing out of this Thursday night offense.
Yeah, that's a heck of a play. That's so hard to defend if you're a defense, especially since everything about that play says run or pass to the right, either a naked bootleg or a pass to the right. And then on the backside, you have a leak from one of your wingbacks and 2 linemen pull out there. That is terrible thing to defend if you're a defensive back.
Camp and Hunter Thorne, the receivers over on the far side. Connor Vondra and Carter Killman on the near side, and it's 4 receiver set. Quick throw on the slant, right side wide open, and he missed him. Incomplete. In and out of the hands, it looks like, of Brett Camp. He's going to say he should have caught that. They left him open on the line, and Garrett Coate, he's made after the catch.
Yeah, he really has, and it's gonna work this game. If the Williamston Hornets keep leaving that open, that will be not a death sentence, but it certainly will not help them if they keep giving up giant 5-10 yard plays every time there's a pass.
10 yards between corner and receiver over on that far side. Coate takes the snap, low snap, picks it up, throws left side. It's incomplete. Was looking for Connor Vonder, just missed him wide. Third down and 10 at the 29-yard line. A couple open targets for Coate on this drive that he's missed. From Dave Jones, Mason's head coach. 4 receivers once again. Still more space for those receivers between them and the corners. Coate takes the snap, under pressure immediately. Gonna get hit. Gonna go down back at the 38-yard line. Lost the line.
Heck of a job from Max Sink getting in there, the defensive end. I told you about him earlier. He subbed in on defensive end on the back half of that drive, and he stepped up and made a play in pass pro. That is a great job from Max Sink.
Hornets didn't bring a lot of extra heat on that one. They just rushed the 4, I believe. But they still got there, and that will bring up 4th down and long. Mason Bulldogs timeout of the half. The Robert Downing Group at Keller Williams Realty spends a lot of time working in different communities, but the message is always the same. The housing market is hot, it's complicated, and it's complex. So what can you do? Work with a real estate professional who is patient, understanding, and dedicated to working with you, not through you. That real estate agent is Mid-Michigan's own Robert Dowding at Keller Williams Realty. If you're buying, selling, or unsure of what to do next, the Robert Dowding Group will take the time to help you achieve your next step. Find them on Facebook at the Robert Dowding Group or call them 517-853-6390. That's 517-853-6390. The Studio Shop in downtown Williamston is where you'll find a creative boutique featuring hundreds of Michigan-themed gifts and offering many services including screen printing, photography, web development, and branding. Link for everyone at the Studio. Fourth and 20. They've decided that it makes more sense to just go for it rather than punt. And they've got the arm here with Garrett Coate. Takes the snap. Williamston rushing 5. Coate under heat. Gonna go down again. Back at the 48-yard line. Peyton Young on the sack.
That is going to be there all night for the Williamston Hornets. The offensive line has struggled so much early with the Hornets' 4-down linemen, and now that they're bringing extra pressure from outside linebackers, that will be a problem for the Bulldogs all night long.
So starting at midfield, Mason's once promising drive fizzles out after a big defensive stand from the Hornets. Now the Hornets will have the ball. And Williamston wants a timeout. Ben McCann taking his first of. Football families, is there anything better in life than a good burger and a sudsy root beer? Old Nation Williamston has the very best burgers made with local beef from Weberville. With a variety of toppings, you can pair your burger with a homemade Old Nation root beer. Old Nation has more than just burgers. They have daily specials, a kids menu, and originals such as beef pasties and poutine. Old Nation proudly supports local students and schools year after year. Stop into Old Nation for the best food around. The heat of the summer is still here. Somehow, it's September. I don't think Mother Nature's gotten the hint yet. It's going to be 80 degrees all week. And Cannonball Pools know there's nothing better than a hot day in a cool pool. Get your late season supplies replenished at their in-store location in Okemos on Grand River. If you're thinking about closing down your pool, it's not too late to get the right help from the experts. Affordable, helpful, and friendly. Call Cannonball Pools 517-256-4374 to work with the people who can help you get what you need. Learn more about their full support services by stopping in at their store or find them on Facebook by searching for Cannon. 4 receivers set for the Hornets. Man in motion is Griffin Hamilton, and they're going to give it to him on the sweep, up over the 45, down to the 43-yard line. Gain of 7 on the play.
That's a hard tackle there from Carter Killman. That's a great job. He got really low, wrapped him up at the ankles at full speed, and took a big hit from the runner. But, he still held on through that contact and was able to bring him down after a gain of about 8.
Dunlop and Carson Reidel in at receiver, with Grayson Mann split out on the right side. Handoff, left side. Trying to take it around the corner is Roland. He'll get close to the line to gain of 2. Under 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter.
27, Smith with the stop forward.
Yeah, that's going to be a thing that Williamston's going to want to do tomorrow, too, is get their running back started early. Right now they're trying to feed Cooper Rowland, and it's sort of working, but he's really been contained to about 2 or 3 yard carries every time.
Yeah, Joseph Smith had about 20 touches for the Williamston Hornets last week. They really want to feature him in that offense. A pro-style offense is not complete without a running back that you trust, and both Williamston and Mason have had those over the years. 1:15 left in the quarter, on the sweep, trying to give it to Roland. He cannot find the corner. He's going to be flattened back at the 43-yard line. I believe that was Colton Tyrell in on the tackle for loss.
Yeah, and you're right. You're really right. Mason and Williamston have had star backs that they've trusted for a while. If you go to Williamston's side, they had a guy named Noah Dunkel, who is now playing. Now he's still an athlete. And then for Mason's side, you get a guy like A.J. Martell, who was one of their biggest players in their state championship runners-up run that they had last year.
Dunlop and Rydell split out to the left. Hamilton and Mann to the right. 4th down, 3 yards to go on the 43-yard line. Mason crowding the line. Man in motion, lots of movement. Who moved first? And they're going to point at Mason. So Mason going to give away a first down here in the dying seconds of the first quarter with an offsides on 4th and 3.
The good thing about being in the press box is that you're next to the coaches, and Williamston's coaches, when those flags came out, got so mad. They slammed their hand in the table. They thought that was a full start on them. And then you look over, as soon as the ref points at Mason, they start chuckling and laughing. It's the great thing about being in the press box. You get a real sense of how the coaches get a vibe of the game going on right there. And, Williamston was really happy for that play call referee call right there.
4 receiver set for the Hornets, trip set to the right. And they're going to let this clock run all the way to the end of the first. Between Williamston and Mason, you're watching.
I'm Robert Dowding, associate broker and owner of the Robert Dowding Group at Keller Williams Realty. Originally from Eaton Rapids, my family and I now call Mason our home. On your next real estate transaction, put our over 30 years of experience and market knowledge to work for you. Call myself or Danielle French at the Robert Dowding Group today. We are your Mason Hometown Realtors.
Today I'm going to tell you about sportsmanship because it's important. Treat your opponents the way you would want to be treated. My mom says that. Listen to the referees. It's their job. Be nice to their team and our team. Cheer them on. Always play fair. It's the right thing to do. It's sportsmanship. It's not that hard.
Welcome back to Mason. Quarter number 2 gets set between the Hornets and the Bulldogs. No score. 2 big defensive stops for these defenses. But now Williamston in Mason territory at the 38-yard line after the penalty converts 4th down for them. 4 receiver set. The snap. Rolling to his right under heavy pressure. Stiff arms a man. Tries to get free. Looking for the corner. Finds the corner up to the 36-yard line. Stood up and dropped out of bounds. Good hit out there by Carter Kilman, but a really nice play there by Max Kinninger to get free. He was hit in the backfield by Ryan Klein, but he got free of him, stiff-armed him away, and was able to at least get 2 yards. He could have lost 5.
Yeah, that's a heck of a play here. And, these are going to be people that we're going to be seeing on Friday night in the next 1 or 2 years, depending on their age. But, this is the future of CAAC Red football that we're going to be seeing here for the Hornets and the Bulldogs. And it's great that Williamston can have these players coming in through the ranks that can make those tough plays that, instead of taking that giant loss, getting back up to the line and getting maybe a gain of 1.
4 receivers once again for Kinninger in the shotgun. 2nd down and 8, ball on the 37. Motion man is Dunlop. Low snap. Kinninger picks up. He's going to try to run with it and gets hauled down at the 42 by his shirt tail. Excuse me, that's Luke Criscuolo, who was in for that snap. Loss of 5. Sack made by Brennan West, and we have an injured Bulldog down in the field, so we're going to take a quick break for the injury timeout. 10:52 to go, second quarter, no score between Mason and Williamston. Hello, everyone. Update on the injury timeout. We have a Mason Bulldog down at the 38-yard line. Per Lansing Herald Media Group policy, we don't talk about the identity of the player until that player is up and it's clear that they're okay. The player in question is sitting up, being tended to by Mason medical personnel. It looks like they're looking at his shoulder. And now being helped to his feet is Xavier Tyler, Mason defensive lineman. And it looks like they put a brace on his right arm, maybe right elbow. Some kind of wrap on it. Try to immobilize it. Does not appear that he will be returning to this game. So loss of 6 on the previous play as we return action from Luke Criscuolo. Came in as kind of a wildcat option for the Hornets on that snap. The snap up the middle, Kinninger up to the 41-yard line, gain of about 3 on 3rd down. And decision time for the Hornets. The Bulldogs went for it on 4th and 20 from about this spot. It looks like the Hornets are going to send out the punt unit. Tyler Schneider hit a 32-yard punt down to the 9-yard line last time. Back deep to return, once again, is Brett Camp. The snap Kick is on its way. Low kick fielded at the 14. Camp tries to break it outside, and he'll get to the 19, and that is where the Bulldogs will take over. 5-yard return for Camp on a 28-yard punt from Tyler Schneider. 2 for 2, getting 20.
That's a great job there from Carson Rydell and Carter Kulzea from Williamston to get down there. Both those guys are gunners. They made that play to stop that punt right at the 20-yard line. That's a heck of a job from them. Really fast.
43 and counting here in the second quarter. No score between Mason and Williamston, which is kind of what you expected. Well, you expected to see a close game. I don't know if we expected to see a scoreless game, but you expect to see a competitive game between these two schools. I formation for Coat up under center. The snap. Give. Left side. Trying to bounce it up the middle. Trying to see who that is on the carry. That is Tyrell on the carry. Colton Tyrell gaining about a yard. Thanks to the PA upstairs for letting us know. 9:10 to go, second quarter. Bulldogs have given running back snaps to Tyrell, Darius Ams, and Boone Smith so far. And now it's going to be Carter Kilman, fourth different running back for the Bulldogs in this one. I formation. Now they've got Vondra dotting the I. The snap. Toss play. It's on the ground. Vondra looking for it. Can't find it. It's loose on the ground. Williamson's going to fall on it. The pit. It's a fumble. Scooped up.
That's a great play there from Williamston. That wouldn't have happened without number 59, Hudson Eastwood. Again, he tackled Vondra when Vondra was reaching down to go pick up that fumble. If Eastwood did not hit Vondra, Mason surely would have recovered that. But since he removed the man trying to get on the ball, it allowed the Williamston people to get on there all by themselves. No Mason players even touching it. That's a great job from Eastwood.
Under 8.5 to go here in the city for the Hornet.
Brett Camp, what a play from the linebacker. He was sitting in his mic position in a curl hook position. That's a great job from him. He was sitting there. He saw that there was a little in-breaking route from the Williamston Hornets, sank right onto it. Easy pass and catch for Camp. What a play.
Brett Camp. The Bulldogs right back to where they were a moment ago, their own 20-yard line. It's like,
well, yeah, nothing happened except the minute rolled off the clock. But otherwise, this is the same. And they're back in the I formation with Vondra up top.
to try this. Single coverage, left side, got a man over the top. He's got him over the 45, over midfield, down to the 41-yard line. Hunter, 39, and the Bulldogs are in business.
Yeah, Trey Richardson was the defensive back in man coverage with him, and then he had help over top from Luke Criscolo. Just couldn't keep up with him. He burnt him, and Criscolo was forced to make the tackle by himself, last man to beat. It's a heck of a play call there from Mason, blocking 7 and drop back passing from I formation. That's a gutsy call.
Formation once again. They've got Hunter Thorne dotting the I. The snap, Coat, throws, left side, wants him again, underthrows it a bit this time, and somehow caught inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. On the reception, goes right back to the well.
This is pure air raid offense right now. It's not even air raid. These are both been giant plays off of straight go routes. This isn't Mason's doing nothing fancy here. They're just saying my athletes are better than your athletes. We're going to show it, and this is what's happening. And on this drive, this has just been Mason using their athletics better than Williamston has been defending it.
Ball on the 17, 4-receiver set. Coat takes the snap. Steps up, throws left side, got a man inside the 10, down close to the line to gain. Believe that's Brett Camp on the reception.
Now, that's one of the special things about this field. It is less than half a mile away from an airport. The Mason airfield, you'll always get planes coming in and out. This is the first time I have ever seen a helicopter, though, land here. That is something cool to see.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Just over the tree line off to our right above the play from our perspective. So it'll be a gain of 9 on the play for Camp. They'll call him just short of the sticks. 4-receiver set. They've got Thorne lined up in the... Boone Smith is the... right back into Coat as he was trying to throw that, who threw it short because he got hit.
Yeah, Sink's been doing a great job ever since the Hornets subbed him in late in the first quarter. I mean, with 5:41 left in the second quarter, hopefully we can get a score. Mason's looking in a great position here, 3rd and 1 on the 8-yard line. But, I mean, so far it's a scoreless game. It's a tough thing here.
Boone Smith, the lone set. Receiver set. Coat, send a man in motion across from left to right. The snap, Coat going to keep it himself just...
Not even. That's what the Eagles ran all last year. If it was 4th and 1 or 4th and 2, the Philadelphia Eagles would only run quarterback sneak, it felt like, and it works every time. Eagles. Yeah. I don't think it's even possible if you have an under center quarterback to beat him in a 4th and 1 situation.
I believe that was Smith on the carry, loss of 3.
That's a great job there from Patrick Jones. The interior lineman got instant pressure, did a great rip move over the right guard, the left guard. He got a great rip move right under him and ate that play for lunch. Heck of a play from him.
Yeah, a little bit of an issue with the quarterback-center exchange there for Coat. It delayed that handoff by about a quarter of a second, and that's all that was needed for that to go for a loss. Connor Vondra dotting the I. Toss right side. This time, it's a good toss. Up inside the 5. Vondra to the corner, and he's into the end zone. 8 yards and a score, and the Bulldogs are on the board first.
Yeah, that's a heck of a play. As this drive perfectly encapsulated what Mason does and what Mason does well. They say they have better athletes, and they're going to show it. That's why they're moving Connor Vondra all around from wide out to slot receiver to dotting the I in a power I formation. And he is doing it well. They say he's the best guy on this field, athleticism-wise, him or Coat, and it really shows. Those two have a great connection, and it's really working for the Bulldogs right now.
In the second quarter. And now we got a whistle. And now they're going to send Kurt Stillard back off the field. Ryan Klein, the captain, will enter. Not sure what the issue is.
I believe it's the number that they're wearing and them being off the line of scrimmage. But I actually don't know.
The kick is no good from Landon Rice. 4:19 to go. Bulldogs on board first. They lead 6-0 here. Watching MHSAA JV football. Located in downtown Mason. Store company is the store with just a little bit of everything. With great and an unparalleled attention to detail. Located in the mall in Oak. No stress. Eats. Private party host. 8178. Birthday ever. LaunchLansing.com or call 517-381-78. On their third try, go 80 yards down the field. Really nice mix of run and pass, emphasizing that pro-style offense that we see on Friday nights. That was a Mason football drive.
Yeah, it really was, and especially a modern Mason football drive. If you look to how they played football from in their 2021 and 2022 campaigns, it was much more based off of power run. In the last couple of years, Mason's really developed that pro style offense.
Line. On the return over the 20, 25, over the 30-yard line, and wrestled to the ground by Boone Smith. Dunlop on the return. And with 4:13 to go, the Hornets will start at their own 32-yard line with an opportunity.
Yeah, we really have. Defense has been the name of the game for both teams, and both defenses have come out strong.
4 receivers. Based on when the whistle blew, we can assume it was a false start.
I think the referee was calling that on the orbit motion. I'm not 100% sure on that. The offensive line didn't move, and I don't think the closest receiver moved. I'm pretty sure that call was on the orbit motion.
Starting offensive line for the Hornets tonight. Then that'll bring up second down and second and 8. 3 1/4 to go in the second.
It's a great play there from the Williamston offensive line. They just got a huge push on the right side of that line, at least 4 yards downfield off the line of scrimmage. That's a great play from the right side of that line to gain about 7 from a 1st and 15 situation.
Wide open. Wanted Griffin. Oh, man.
That is a tough pass. He was wide open. That surely would have been a house call if that was a completion. That's unlucky there from the Hornets, but it shows that Mason isn't totally sound on the secondary front. There is some openings for Williamston to take shot plays.
Motion. with Cooper Rowland, gain of 13 and a first down. Run this clock, ball at the 48-yard line. 2.5 to go in the second. Williamston trying to tie or take the lead before the break. 4 receivers set. Griffin Hamilton in the left side next to Rowland next. Motion man is Hamilton. Play action. Looking deep right side. It's caught. Big hit out there, but I think he held on. Peyton Young held on through the big hit by, I believe, Landon Rice.
Yeah, that's 2 plays in a row. Landon Rice has laid the boomstick. What a play there from Rice, and what an even bigger play there for the Hornets.
Route between him and Nolan Ball. I don't know if there was a miscommunication on the Williamston side as to what the play call was. It never looked like Ball was going to look back at the ball. He was definitely being held.
I mean, right when the ball hit the ground, Ball was making his break out to the right, but it was so delayed due to the holding penalty there by the Bulldogs that it didn't even look like it looked like a huge miscommunication instead of a, just a mistimed pass.
Spot the ball up at the 30-yard line. Throws. And the Hornets have tied the ball game. That is a great response drive from a Hornets offense that's been a little bit stagnant. They came out and punched them right back in the face on that drive.
I'm pretty sure that is that is the same route that Hamilton ran before. That pass was just a little far outside that he couldn't get to, but that is a route that will be there all day until Mason can talk to its defensive backs at halftime in 1 minute and 26 seconds. But at that halftime break, the coaching staff will need to talk to their DBs to make sure that they cover over top and don't let anybody behind you, especially the deep half safeties.
So Williamson's got the offense out there to go for 2. Kinning. No dice for Max Kinninger. They tried to bring Dunlop across and fake the give. Nobody was fooled. Brought down behind the line. The 2-point conversion is no good, and we are tied at 6. 126. Burnout, exposure to roles, and learning to compete better. Well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. Ideal Mortgage Services LLC wants you to know it's a seller's market now, and as a buyer, it's very important to have a mortgage company that is available after hours, on the weekends, and beyond hours. Many times on Saturday, and who will help you then? This is LLC will. Get pre-approved on time. To learn more, contact Ideal Mortgage Services LLC. 300 for the Ideal Mortgage. 126 on the clock, balls on the tee, and now in the air. 3 men back to return this for the Bulldogs. They'll catch this at the 14. Here they come. Brett Camp over the 25, breaks a tackle. Going to get hit and dropped at the 26-yard line, 12-yard return. Now the Bulldogs will start at their own 26. They've got Bottom at the 27. We'll see how aggressive the Bulldogs are here with just the one timeout. They might just try to go to halftime, especially now that the clock is running and they don't seem to be in any hurry. Might run a couple plays, maybe take one shot, see what you get, and then decide from there. I formation, Coat up under center. Takes the snap. He's going to throw it. Looking deep, left side. Look at him in the turkey hole. It's picked off. Luke Criscuolo on the interception. Mason gets aggressive. The Hornets were ready for it.
By number 8, Grayson Mann. Williamston football.
53 seconds to go.
Williamston did a great job at adjusting, seeing what Mason did on their scoring drive, those two deep seam shots in the open holes of the zone coverage. Williamston did a great job adjusting to that and getting to that play.
Out of the gun. Quick throw. Right side. Kinninger wants a big shot in that same part of the field. He's got him. It got through the defender inside at the 1 yard. Think on the reception. Gain of 54.
Complete.
I thought that was surely an interception there. That was double coverage. That was a perfect pass.
Williamston. With the camera on the ones and twos tonight.
Ones and twos? You mean chief meteorologist?
Chief meteorologist Glenn Dudasek.
That's going to be a running thing throughout the whole season, isn't it? Oh, yeah.
36 68 yards and a touchdown, 54 yards and knocking on the door. And it's because they opened it up. They're throwing the ball downfield. Max Kinninger, he can hit spots. I'm really excited for the varsity duel between Kinninger and Coat. That's going to be a ton of fun.
Yeah, it really will be. And especially with the quality of line play that we've seen from both of these teams, Williamston's offensive line has been impressive so far tonight.
4 receiver set. Trips to the left. Kinninger keeps it himself, running to the right. There's no room. Back at the 3 yards. Three seconds. Back 5. One timeout left. 4 receivers. Trips to the left. Kinninger takes the snap and he's going to quickly for a spike. And now
Well, I mean, it's Williamston's MO to not go for, or to go 4-2. The varsity does it all the time. Yeah. Realistically, that's what they're going to do. Yeah, realistically, that's what they're going to do. But even if they get in the end zone, their varsity does this too. They always go for 2 points. They have a very high 2-point percentage, especially for a high school team.
Called by the Hornets. It's their last one.
Now, Williamston's got to make a decision here. Do they send out the kicking team or do they go for it? Yeah, it really is. Football is a game all about effort, and if you don't give good effort, you will lose the game, especially to a team that has a lot of passion and work into it. Effort always wins.
Here we go. 7 seconds on the clock. 4 receivers set for Max Kinninger in the shotgun. Carter Killman breaks it up in the end zone. I believe that was John Dunlop,
Sink.
Grayson Mann, the intended target. He couldn't haul it in because of the big hit by Carter Killman at the goal line, and now that's a turnover on downs.
They just let it run to half.
We'll go to halftime. 6 the score.
I'm Robert Dowding, associate broker and owner of the Robert Dowding Group at Keller Williams Realty. Originally from Eaton Rapids, my family and I now call Mason our home. On your next real estate transaction, put our over 30 years of experience and market knowledge to work for you. Call myself or Danielle French at the Robert Dowding Group today. We are your Mason Hometown Realtors.
We're there to serve, make sure we're creating a fair atmosphere for both teams, upholding the integrity of the game.
I chose to be an official. It's the best decision I've made.
In life, things aren't scripted. Games aren't pre-scripted. You know, I got into officiating because my father was an official. Officiating was part of our family life. It wasn't just the game.
Get to be outside, get to experience the game. It's so much more fun. You can get a lot out of it.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
It helped me become not only a better official, but a better person.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
And it's just been wonderful.
Four former MHSAA pitchers have MLB wins, and we're less than 3 weeks away from releasing soccer postseason brackets. I'm John Ross, and this is This Week in High School Sports, powered by Michigan Student Aid. 8 years ago, in 2016, Spencer Schwellenbach, Jeff Criswell, Carl Kaufman, and Tommy Henry were all pitching for their high school teams in Michigan. Schwellenbach at Saginaw Heritage, Criswell at Portage Central, Kaufman at Bloomfield Hills Brother Rice, and Henry at Portage Northern. 3 of them would go on to pitch at the University of Michigan together, Criswell, Kaufman, and Henry, where they helped the Wolverines to the 2019 College World Series Finals, losing to Vanderbilt. Schwellenbach pitched at Nebraska, and now all 4 have won a game in the major leagues. Henry was drafted by the Diamondbacks and got his first major league victory in 2022. Kaufman was picked by the Rockies and notched career win number 1 last season. Criswell was drafted by the A's and traded to Colorado, so he's once again Kaufman's teammate, and he recorded his first win this season. And Schwellenbach was taken by the Atlanta Braves and also got his first win earlier this year. Now they've all got some catching up to do to match former Lansing Waverly star John Smoltz's major league win number. The MLB Hall of Famer tallied 213 wins in his 21-year career. The MHSAA baseball record book and finals archives are all online. Just go to MHSAA.com and click on baseball. It's time for Game Balls, when we highlight a trio of standout performances from the past week. Bay City Western's Kayla Montcalm. She shot a championship best 89 to help lead Western to the Bay County Girls Golf Championship. Kingsley's Jenna Middleton, she led the way with 45 kills over 6 matches as Kingsley went 6-0 to win their own volleyball invite. And to Armada's Jackson Malberg, he scored 2 touchdowns in a 14-0 win over Croswell Lexington, Armada's first win over Croslex since 2004.
Have a recent high school grad? They could qualify for a tuition-free skills certificate or associate degree through the new Community College Guarantee, no matter their GPA or your household income. Or if your child plans to attend a 4-year university or career school, the Michigan Achievement Scholarship Program has them covered. They could get up to $27,500 toward a bachelor's degree or up to $4,000 for career training. Complete the FAFSA to get started at mi.gov/achievement.
Our weekly Be the Referee feature takes a look at the fine art of officiating with registered official Paige Winnie.
Today we're talking roster sizes and uniforms in cross country. In the regular season, a school can enter a maximum of 12 competitors, and the top 7 contribute to the school's score. In the postseason, schools can enter a max of 7 runners, with the top 5 contributing to the team's score. In the past, all members of a team had to wear identical uniforms, but that's no longer the case. Now, each runner must wear a uniform that clearly indicates their team through the use of their predominant school colors, school logo, or nickname. They don't have to be identical, but the school they are representing must be obvious, and it must be clear who your teammates are. Something to think about the next time you're getting ready to run 3.1 miles.
Thanks, Paige. Now more than ever, we need officials. If you're interested, please go to the MHSAA website now to register. While it may feel like the school year just started, believe it or not, we're just 4 weeks from the start of the boys' soccer postseason. A majority of teams in the state are about halfway through their regular seasons, and district play starts Wednesday, October 9th. The postseason brackets will be released on September 29th. District winners advance to regional starting October 22nd, and the semifinals are on October 30th. The finals will once again be at Grand Ledge High School, with all 4 division championships taking place on Saturday, November 2nd. The Division 4 final will start things off that day at 10 a.m., followed by Division 3 at 12:30, Division 2 at 3:30, and Division 1 at 6 o'clock. And all 4 finals can be seen live on the NFHS network. Last year, Troy Athens, Grand Rapids Christian, Hudsonville Unity Christian, and Muskegon Western Michigan Christian were all crowned champions. Each team's Michigan Power Rating, which is used to determine the seeds in each district, can be found online. Just go to MHSAA.com, select soccer, and then MPR. Also on the soccer page, learn more about red cards, handballs, and the offside rule. You've been listening to This Week in High School Sports, powered by Michigan Student Aid, a production of the MHSAA Network. Thanks for joining us. I'm John Ross, and we'll be back next week.
We are the MHSAA, a collection of 750 high schools and 750 middle schools, from Temperance to Copper Harbor, from New Buffalo to Alpena. Each year, more than 250,000 students play one of our 28 sports. More than 1.5 million fans attend our postseason games. There are 30,000 coaches and 8,000 officials, not to mention all of the volunteers. The MHSAA believes in the 4 S's. School sports should be safe and kept in the appropriate scope. We believe nothing beats great sportsmanship, and that scholarship in the classroom is more important than excellence on the field or court. Most of all, we believe school sports should be fun. So come out and join us at a game. Support your school, support your community, and come see what the excitement is all about.
I'm Robert Dowding, associate broker and owner of the Robert Dowding Group at Keller Williams Realty. Originally from Eaton Rapids, my family and I now call Mason our home. On your next real estate transaction, put our over 30 years of experience and market knowledge to work for you. Call myself or Danielle French at the Robert Dowding Group today. We are your Mason hometown realtors.
really struggling with the different fronts that Williamston's really putting out there.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Mason. 6 time. We're about to get this second half underway. Williamston Hornets got stonewalled on the goal line at the very end of that first half after they thought they were about to go in front. Quick look at the stats. Cooper Rowland leading the way for the Hornets with 35 rushing yards. Matt Kinniger with 19. John Dunlop with 17. Through the air, Griffin Hamilton, 130-yard touchdown reception. Max 146 total yards. 2 interceptions from Max Kinniger. 1 8-yard touchdown run. Also leading him through the air. Catches for 63 yards. Hunter Thorne, 1 yards, 115 total yards for the Bulldogs offense. Ball is away, fielded by the Bulldogs, moving left to right in the blue across your screen, up over the 30, down to the 35-yard line, and out of bounds at the 39-yard line on the return goes Hunter Thorne. I believe Nolan Ball. Quarter, 6-6 the score. Tom, usually when we talk about Williamston and Mason, we talk about these dynamic, diverse offenses, but it's the defenses that have been the story. What's impressed you on that side of the ball?
For Williamston, the most impressive thing so far is the defensive line play. It has been all over the place. Mason has had trouble defending all of the fronts that the Williamston Hornets are throwing out there, whether that being a blitzing outside linebacker or just 4-down linemen. Williamston's really getting a ton of pressure, and we're about to see that on this next drive with their D-line and linebackers.
Set, gun, sending a man in motion. The snap gives to the motion man. Going to get hit in the backfield. Connor Vondra trying to escape, running backwards to his 29. He'll be of 9 on the play. They tried to bring Vondra across the formation. They really trust him with the ball in his hands, so they're trying to bring him across the formation, get the ball in his hands horizontally so that he can try to turn it up the field. But if you're going to run to the short side of the field where the 3 wide receivers of the formation are, all 3 of them have to hit their blocks, and they didn't on that one.
Yeah, they really didn't, and that was a great job from Hudson Eastwood. He was the one that first turned Vondra around, and then a great job from Trevor Doucette, the linebacker, to get in there and finish it up. That's what I was talking about earlier. This front 7 is working Mason right now.
3 receiver set rolling to the left. Coat under immediate pressure, dumps it off into the flat, caught by Tyrell over the 30 down to the 4 on the play, and that will bring up 3rd down and looking at 3rd down and about 13. They call it 3rd and 14.
I mean, I think the most impressive thing is with Hudson Eastwood. He is comparatively undersized to his teammates, especially for playing a 3 technique position. He's an interior lineman. He's not as big, but oh my gosh, his technique is top tier, and you can tell because he is constantly making problems for the Mason offense.
4 receiver set for the Bulldogs. Boone Smith, the lone setback. Quick throw down the seam right side, in and out of the hands of the defender at midfield. Almost picked off out there. Good defense from Tommy McGuire. And maybe better defense from the intended receiver, who I believe is Hunter Thorne. Way to prevent.
Yeah, that's a heck of a job there from the wide receiver to act in a defensive back in that position to deflect his own pass to stop a turnover. That's a great job there.
Here in the 3rd, 4th, and 14. Yard line. And they're going to leave the offense out there. Timeout now called by Mason.
Mason, timeout there first.
Williamston, wake up on the sunny side. Sunnyside Cafe is family to order. With breakfast every day, you can stop in and get a favorite. So get topped with sausage gravy with a sausage patty. Or try something special like their cinnamon raisin French toast. Sunnyside Cafe partners with Michigan-made business and local farmers to provide the local ingredients. Nothing fancy, just good food at the Sunnyside Cafe. Are you trying to find a place to get your custom trim meats, special orders, and the best seafood in town? Mertz Specialty Meats in Okemos invites you to come see what they have to offer. They have steaks, chops, burgers, and brats. Fine selections and unmatched customer service. Mertz, open 7 days a week, just east of the Meridian Mall on Grand River. They're going to drop Hunter Thorne back to punt this away. Thorne puts his foot into it. Wobbly kick. It'll hit the ground at the 30. So after an unfortunate bounce, it's only going to be a 22-yard punt by Hunter Thorne. And 10. Nine and a half to go, 3 receiver set. Man in motion is Hamilton. They fake the, no, they do give it to him, excuse me. Hamilton gonna get hit and drop back at the 40. Great pursuit by Boone Smith, getting in there and getting the tackle for a loss. Loss of 5 on the play, 2nd and 15.
Heck of a play. He got off that block. He shedded that block and was instantly there to lay out a huge, huge hit for a loss of 5, putting it back to 2nd and 15 here for the Hornets offense.
Under 9 to go in the third quarter. Right side trying to find the corner, and guess who's there? It's number 27 again. Back and a loss of 2, 3rd and 17.
Wow, what a couple of plays there from Boone Smith. You know, he's really reminding me of a Williamston player, actually. He really reminds me of Joey Mahaney out on at that outside linebacker position. Joey Mahaney was the class of 23 from Williamston. He was a problem for CAAC Red offenses his whole time there. He's a very, very similar player. And now Boone Smith's out in coverage. That's something that a nickelback would do, and that's the same sort of position Mahaney played.
4 receivers. Kinninger steps up, throws down the seam. It's in and out of the hands. Up at the 45-yard line. Was trying to get it to Tyler Schneider. Haul it in. Way. Punt good. It'll hit inside the 20. And will down it. 47-yard punt.
Oof. That's a rough mark there from the refs. They're putting that on the 15-yard line.
We've noticed that a lot more. Really like Tyler Schneider is going to argue that punt should have been down to closer to the 13-yard line. 4 receivers set to the right. Throw on left side. It's caught up. Hey, good job by the offensive line.
film room, aka the halftime locker room. But like that locker room adjustments at halftime can be so important to how an offense and hope something and changed up their pass scheme, because that was a lot better than what we saw in the first.
Move those chains. You doing okay over there, Tom?
Ugh.
Tom didn't like that.
I do, but QB sneak on 2nd and 3 is interesting. I guess it worked. But like, oh.
Self on the option read is Coat. Going to try to get to the edge. Gain of 3.
I don't know if I can support that, because as you were saying, when it's 2nd and short like that, yes, it's nice to get a guaranteed first down, I suppose. But if you have time, because you're ahead of the count, right? As the saying was, it's 3 yards in a cloud of dust, because if you can gain 3 yards every play, you get that first down. So if you get ahead of that, it was 2nd and 2. They have the opportunity to go for a shot play, and how explosive this Mason offense is. I'm really surprised they didn't try to bomb one downfield, especially being ahead of the chains.
15 to go in the third. Quick throw outside. Need to try. Incomplete. It'll bring up 3rd down. We're tied at 6. 5:06 to go. 4 receiver set, trips to the right for the Bulldogs. Out of the gun. Thrown down the seam. It's caught up at the 40, down to the 42-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 12 and a first down. Hunter Thorne on the reception.
I don't know if that pass was even intended for Hunter Thorne. I think he just made a heck of an athletic play for a pass that was meant for Vondra.
It's in 10 at the 41-yard line. Mason started this drive from their own 15-yard line. 4:30 to go here in this third quarter. 3 receiver set. The snap, give right up the gut. Gain of a yard, maybe. No, he's going to keep pushing down to the 43-yard line, staying on his feet, still on his feet. They're going to spot him all the way up at the 45-yard line. Forward progress for Boone Smith on carry. Ball on the 45, 2nd and 6. Four receiver set, 2 takes the snap. Hornets rush 4. Coat. Pocket collapsing, steps up, tries to go through the pocket, and he's going to find a yard out of that somehow. Gets up to about the 46-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd down and 5. I formation, play action. Under heavy pressure, just going to throw it away. The pressure came. The line couldn't hold up that time. It'll bring up 4th down and 5. It looked like a screen, but it didn't look like there was anybody who was supposed to be the recipient. Coat. He's the quarterback. Numbers are hard from up here sometimes. Fourth and 5. They're going to put the punt unit out there. Kick is up. It's a spinning punt, and it'll go out of bounds at about the 44-yard line. Only about a 10-yard punt.
45-yard line of the Hornets. Williamston football.
Hornets will have it at their own 45-yard line with 2:37 to go. This year, the MHSAA is celebrating a century. Helping 100 years of the MHSAA by visiting online. See exclusive content about the people, things that make school sports so special, rivalries, and remembering some of the state's top players. Relive it all at MHSAA.com. Thank you to everyone who has been a part of a century of sports. Out of the shotgun, trying to hand it off on the sweep. Brought down back at the 41. This time it's Brett Camp getting in there. Loss of 4 on the play for John Dunlop.
It's a great play there from the Bulldogs. As we were saying earlier, talking about what both teams do well on defense. Bulldogs defense, I think the best part of their defense so far tonight has been their linebacker play, specifically their outside linebacker play. It has been dominant on the edges of this Williamston offense. They've been really killer against these Hornets.
2nd and 14, ball on the 41, 1:40 to go here in the third quarter. 4 receivers set for the Hornets. Trip set to the right for Kenninger in the shotgun. Motion man again. Kenninger drops back. 4 receiver set, trying to throw a little middle screen. It's caught up at the 45 down to the 48-yard line. Gain of 7 on the play. Catch made by Luke Criscuolo. So a new system. 4 receivers set for the Hornets. Motion man is Dunlop. Handoff right up the middle. Up over midfield. Got some room. 40, 35. No one's going to catch him. 20, 10, 5. Touchdown. Cooper Rowland said goodbye. 48 yards and a score. And the Hornets lead.
Into the end zone. Touchdown. Williamston.
You know, as they say, if at first you don't succeed, try again. And that is what Cooper Rowland has done tonight. He has been given the ball so many times. And this is really the first time that he's been able to break away from the Masons' first level. And as soon as he got into that second level, he had that burst and was gone.
9 carries. 80 yards. Rowland tonight. 48 of them on that play. Extra point, snap good, spot down, kick is up and off the upright. Tyler Schneider pings it off the 42 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Hornets up 12-6. You're watching MHSAA JV football on Lansing TV 12. The Robert Downing Group spends a lot of time working in different communities, but the message is all hot, complicated, and complex. So what can you do? Work with a real estate professional who's patient, understanding, and dedicated to working with you, through you. That real estate agent is Mid-Michigan's own Robert Dowding at Keller Williams Realty. If you're buying, selling, or unsure of what to do next, the Robert Dowding Group will take the time to help you achieve your next step. Find them on the group or call them at 517-853-6390. That's 517-63. Great Lakes Christian College on Lansing TV 12 is showcased on Soccer Saturdays this fall. Catch all the NCCAA action from anywhere on any device for free on Lansing. 42 seconds on the clock in this third quarter. 12-6 the score. Kick is away. Fielded at the 16 by Camp. Got some room, 35-40. Got a lane down to midfield. Brought down by Nolan. Might have been the last man who could have made that tackle. They're going to spot this right at midfield. Mason, 50 yards from a tie ball game. 35 seconds to go in the third. Clock is moving. It looks like they will take a snap before the end of the third. I formation behind Coat. They're splitting Killman all the way out to the left side. Snap, toss play to the right. Got a block out in front of him, up to the 45 and hit and dropped there. Connor Vondra on the carry, and that takes us to the end of the third quarter. 12-6, Mason with the football, trailing in Williamston territory. You're watching MHSAA JV football on Lansing TV 12.
I'm Robert Dowding, associate broker and owner of the Robert Dowding Group at Keller Williams Realty. Originally from Eaton Rapids, my family and I now call Mason our home. On your next real estate transaction, put our over 30 years of experience and market knowledge to work for you. Call myself or Danielle French at the Robert Dowding Group today. We are your Mason hometown realtors.
Solid. Yeah, I don't know. Well, we'll just fix it. Not worried about it.
Sounds good. Fourth quarter about to begin. 4 receivers set for Mason. Second and 5. Williamston 45 down 12-6. Coat takes the snap. Pressure comes immediately, trying to set up a middle screen. Coat is going to get hit and drop back at the 40. They got there before the screen could develop. Big sack, Hudson Eastwood. We've called his name a lot tonight, and we call it again. 3rd and 20 coming up.
Eastwood is a menace to society. He is undersized, but he is doing his darndest. His technique is flawless. He is way quicker than a lot of big guys. He's using that to his advantage, and you can see that. That is a huge play from Eastwood.
Get ready to hear that Fridays. That kid's gonna be ready when he gets the call.
Yeah, he certainly will be. Especially on the Fridays at the next level, you can expect him to move outside. But, I mean, as of right now, I don't see a reason why you would ever take him off his 3 technique position. He's doing terrific.
4 receivers for the Bulldogs. They need 20 yards at their own 40. Williamston showing blitz. Here they come with 5-6 now. Coat rolls to his right, buys some time. Coat, flag down, just chucks it into the bench. That's probably going to be holding. Coat was looking downfield, might have had someone deep, but he just ran out of time and ran out of room to run. That flag is down at the 35-yard line. I imagine if it is offensive holding, it'll just be declined.
Yeah, probably. And again, Eastwood was the first man in there giving Coat pressure. That is a huge, huge play.
4th and 20. And now Mason, they are going to send out the punt unit. 3rd straight punt for this offense. Every possession in this second half so far has ended with a kick away. Hunter Thorne back to send it on. Puts his foot into it. That's a good punt. Rotates and hits at the 30 and takes a great roll inside the 20. down to the 15-yard line and stops right on the line there. 45-yard punt for Hunter Thorne. He'll be happy with that one. His last punt was not very good. That one, however, excellent punt.
Well, in that punt, the crazy thing about that is going to be perfectly spotted since it landed directly on the 15-yard line. That was a heck of a punt there for the Bulldogs.
We've seen a couple of good punts tonight. Tyler Schneider also had a 45-yard punt. And again, one of the things that you come to game, you're getting ready to play on Fridays, but want them to get reps here at the level. On the sweep out of the slot, wrapped up and brought down by the shoulder pad. Zach Sink on the carry. No, excuse me, that is Luke Chris Cuolo on the carry. Loss of a couple.
Yeah, and as you were saying, that Mason really relying on their kickers. If you last year in their first-round playoff game, they had their school record for field goals set by Tyler Baker. And, without that kick, the game might have been a lot different, especially towards the end. It was getting closer, if my memory serves me right. But Mason has always valued special teams, and getting a lot of punts out like this tonight is a huge improvement for the Bulldogs.
Hand pounds at the 14. Good hit there. Only a gain of 2 there for Roland. And I want the previous play, Colton Tyler was the one who got the tackle for loss. They rotate him around in the secondary. He's a guy who comes up from a defensive back position and gets into the backfield and makes plays on those stretch runs. He's the guy to do that.
Yeah, Mason's been all over the place with their heavier secondary unit. So like their linebackers and nickelbacks, they have been terrific tonight for the Bulldogs defense.
4 down for the Bulldogs in the nickel package. 4 receivers set. They're going to rush 5. Up in the air, deep down the right sideline. It's incomplete. John Dunlop that in at midfield. He was looking over his left shoulder. He had to adjust and couldn't haul it in. And that'll bring up 4th down. Big stop there from the Bulldogs defense. They'll get the football back under 9 to go. The snap, ball's on the ground, picked up, and he's got time to punt it, and he will. Heads up play there by Tyler Schneider. Ball's going to roll over mid 48 asterisk. Schneider couldn't handle the low snap. He picks it up off the ground. He assesses the situation. At first he thought, I'm going to have to run this. But he saw that he had time to punt it, so he did. Heads up play by Schneider there. Saved his team about 40 yards. 38-yard punt and no return. 36-yard punt, excuse me.
He did, in fact, have trouble with the snap, but it did not matter. That could have been disastrous for Williamston. If they gave that up, that would have been a red zone drive for the Bulldogs in a really, really close game. That could have been a bad luck for the Hornets.
4 receivers set. Bulldogs starting at mid. Coat takes the snap. Lots of time. Throws deep left on the fly route over the 30 down to the 27-yard line. Hunter Thorne, they ran him on a little sail route to the outside, out of that slot. Little smash concept. You expect that outside receiver. He comes up, he holds the corner in place. It's one-on-one, you get outside leverage on the safety, and that's exactly what they exploited. It's a great throw and a great route.
Yeah, the smash concept will always be there. So smash is where the slot receiver runs that corner route, and the farthest wide out receiver runs a little hook curl. And it holds the corner in place, and in cover 2 like that was, that's an easy 20-yard completion.
4 receivers set. Coat throws over the middle, incomplete. Intended for, I believe, was Thorne. Ball on the 20. Two-point. 4 receivers, trips to the right. Coat in the gun. Takes the snap. Williamston rushing 5. They hold up. Throws deep over the left side. Incomplete, but a flag is down. Flag comes out in the secondary. This might be interference. And it will be interference on the Hornets.
I mean, it's getting late in the game. It's 7:50 on the clock. You got to be careful here if you're Williamston. You really got to hold the Bulldogs up. This could be a game-changing drive for the Bulldogs. For the Bulldogs if they can get into the end zone.
Closer, it's to stop everything. Scrimmage was the 20. Oh. They're going to repace this off? I believe this should be half the distance. They're going to put it on the 16. So an 11-yard penalty. There instead of pass interference. I don't know. In any case, 4 receivers set for the Bulldogs. Ball on the 16-yard line. Only 4 accepted penalties in this game tonight, 2 for each team. Coat takes the snap. Quick throw left side on the out route. Oh, inside the 10 down to the 9-yard line. Hunter Thorne on the reception. Gain of 2. It's his 4th catch of the game. 77 yards.
Good job there from Tommy McGuire, the defensive back. One of the only guys there that can make that play, and did a great job getting low, biting at the ankles, and getting a tackle.
Then on the play for Thorne, Ball down to the 9. 7:20 to go. 2nd and 3. I formation. Vondra dotting the I. Coat up under center. Takes the snap. Big hit in the backfield. Vondra goes down. Tackle made by guess who? Eastwood.
Hudson Eastwood is having, honestly, one of the most impressive JV games I've ever seen. He looks like he could compete at the varsity level right now. He is that good. He is clinical with his technique right now.
Football game. 4 receivers for Garrett Coat. Takes the snap. Coat throws on the out, incomplete. Trying to hit Brett Camp in the flat and try to get him to turn field. And that's a mechanical thing that Coat is going to be working on, Trying to give Camp a chance to turn upfield and get the first down with a lot of space. Williamson continues to give some space. Not as much as they gave in the first half, but they're still giving some space to those receivers, allowing them to run those short routes, make catches, and try to go somewhere after the catch.
Well, and as we were saying earlier, that Mason's offense has been very pass-heavy recently. I feel like this JV team is going to go, when they get to varsity level, they're going to go back to that run-heavy stuff that they were doing in the earlier 2020s, like 2 or 3 years ago, compared to the pass-heavy stuff that they run now.
Collaboration and are a place where you can explore different that are both trendy and timeless. Whether you're looking for a statement, they have something for everyone. Committed to make convenient. Store on the checklist. Keen Store Company has wonderful and unique gifts for everyone on your list. In a store that will bring back memories while making new ones. With 2 floors of unique items, every corner has something worth treasuring. Open 7 days a week. Come visit them. Receiver set for Mason on this 4th and 7. 6:22 to go in the 4th. Coat in the gun. Williamston going to rush 4. Coat, lots of time, throws, end zone, corner, got him, touchdown! Hunter Thorne back on the smash concept, and Thorne for the touchdown, his 5th catch of the game.
Yeah, cover 2 is base defensive set in their shell all game, and Mason is finally exposing him. On their first scoring drive, they were doing the same thing. They were abusing that same area in the cover 2. As Colton was saying earlier, what NFL coaches like to call the turkey hole. It is always open, and Mason is finally figuring it out in just abusing that spacing on the Williamston's defensive side.
So here we go. Mason looks like they're lining up to go for 2. No, they're lining up to kick this. They are going to kick this. Hunter Thorne trying to complete his 7 by putting his team in front with 6:16 to go. Missed the last one wide right. And we got a flag offsides on the Hornets. Excuse me, it was Landon Rice who missed the extra point wide right last time. My mistake. Offsides on the Hornets.
Move them up, what, about a yard and a half?
It's going to move them in about a yard and a half or so. And now sometimes you'll see coaches decide for 2. Like that gives them half the distance just because they've moved them closer to the goal line. But it looks like Dave Jones is going to leave his kicking unit out there. Hunter Thorne. Snap good. Spot down. Kick is blocked. Kick is blocked. Ball's loose on the ground. They're going to blow it dead. Williamston got the rush. We're still tied at 12.
Wow. What a great rush from Williamston. I didn't get to see who blocked it, but it came from the inside. That block came from the B gap. That's a heck of a push from the interior of that block unit.
Multiple Hornets into the backfield there. Impressive stop to keep at 12. On the road in a hurry, but don't want the hassle or guilt of fast food. Instead of the drive-thru, get good food fast at Fabiano's Grocery and Deli at the corner of Wacusta and Grand. Sauce every single day. A great place to stop in even for breakfast. They have an amazing breakfast pizza with cheese, eggs, and bacon. For a couple dollars in a couple of minutes, get yourself the handmade meal you deserve at Fabiano's Grocery and Deli, Grand River, Wacusta, in Grand Ledge. So Mason's offense comes alive after 3 straight 50 yards and punch it into the end zone to tie the game at 12 with 6:16 to go. And now the Hornets will have their opportunity. They got all 3 timeouts. You don't have to be in a hurry. You got lots of time. Just got to execute, march this ball down the field.
Yeah, you know Williamston's going to do that, as we saw in their game last week, the varsity game at least. And you would assume that a similar style can be put into the JV level because varsity runs JV level concepts. Williamston really can change their offense a lot. We saw this as I was saying last week, where Williamston was really, really power heavy on the run for part of the game, and then really moved to a West Coast style offense with a more pass heavy. I would expect Williamston to move into that run heavy offense that we've been seeing a decent amount in this game. But I would expect them to chew as much clock as possible off right now.
Thorne's got the ball on the tee and sends it away. Fielded at the 18 by Dunlap. Dunlap over the 30 down to the 36-yard line. Good return. Start there. Hornets went backwards on their last drive and had to punt it away. 6:12 left in this football game. Ben McCann getting the signal in from the sideline. 4 receivers set for Max Kinninger in the shotgun. Kinninger takes the snap. Lots of time. Throws down the seam. It's picked off at midfield. What a catch by guess who? Carter Kilman. We've talked about him all night making plays for this Bulldogs defense. What a catch in traffic.
I mean, as we were saying earlier, defense has been the name of the game. Whichever defense got more takeaways this game will probably win. I mean, I guess that's usually how it goes. But still, both of these teams have had spectacular defensive performances, and they've been going punch for punch. And Mason, so far, as of right now, is getting the last laugh.
I formation. Let's see how the Hornets defense responds. Coat up under center. Takes the snap. Handoff right side. Vondra breaks it outside, tries to shake a man in space. He's going to get about 3. Been really hit or miss handing the ball off to Vondra for the Bulldogs. He's got an 8-yard touchdown, but he's also been brought down for big losses. They've usually been trying to get him the ball on like those sweep concepts, and they've just been getting blown up in the backfield. That time, just go with a power eye, handoff around the right tackle, picks up 3 yards.
Yeah. Usually that's a sign that coaches think that the defensive line is a little better than their O-line, especially when they go to that outside zones type work. But I don't really see the reason for that in this case. I think these are pretty well matched up units, especially in the second half. But I understand why Mason's trying to get that outside edge. It's where big plays happen, but I don't know. I'd like to see him run inside.
I formation toss play. Vondra met in the backfield and dropped back at the 49-yard line. That's a great tackle. Cooper Rowland getting in there. But I actually think that was Hudson Eastwood. Again, getting in there and making the tackle. It's going to be a loss of 3. And there it is. You were just talking about it. When they try to run inside, they've had more success with Vondra than when they try to go outside.
Yeah, they really have. I don't like this outside zone from Power Eye that Mason's running. If I was the play caller here, I would try a little more inside zone or go into the pass concepts at that point. I just don't understand the outside zone from Power.
4 receiver set. Coat takes a snap. Quick throw left side in the dirt. Incomplete. Was trying to hit Vondra on a comeback route. Trying to put that in a spot where only Vondra can get it. But in so doing, ended up putting it in a spot where no one could get it.
I mean, that's a good miss, though. A lot of QB coaches preach missing in a good spot. You don't. In that case, you really don't want to miss too long or too inside because that would have been a Williamston interception. So aiming a little farther outside and a little closer to yourself is the correct place to put that ball. It was just a little too far out of reach for a play to be made.
Punt formation on here, 4th down. A big stop from the Hornets after giving up the interception. Punt is high in the air. It'll hit and roll inside the 20 down to the 11-yard line. 39-yard punt. Solid kick from Thorne. 3:23 to go in the 4th quarter. We're tied at 12. The broadcast of today's game is a copyrighted presentation of the Michigan High School Athletic Association and the Lansing Herald Media Group. No reproduction, retransmission, or other distribution of the descriptions of accounts of this game may take place without the express written consent of the MHSAA and the Lansing Herald Media Group. So here we go. Williamston ball at the 10. 90 yards to glory with 3:10 and counting to go in this 4th quarter. Handoff up the middle. He's got room inside the 15. Sheds a man down to the 20. Still going to the 24-yard line. That's a gain of 14 for Cooper Rowland, who just threw a man to the ground. David Montgomery style.
Ugh. Yeah, you could almost hear a shout from the Williamston sideline. Someone yelled, "Weight room." That is disrespectful amount of just power into that stiff arm. That was a crazy play.
JV kids, man. JV kids, they can talk their trash. Under 3 minutes to go. 4 receivers set for Williamston. Now starting to move a little bit. Faking the give. There's no one for him to give the ball to, and he's going to be caught and dropped at the 20-yard line. Kinniger thought that there was supposed to be a play action one way and then a give to somebody else, but the runner was on his opposite side, and he didn't know where to go with the football, and he ends up losing 5.
Well, the second handoff, the guy who was in motion, I think that was a tight end or a wide receiver, went too early. the timing was off, and so by the time he looked to hand it to him, he was already at the other side of the offensive line. That's just not a great play there for the Williamston Hornets.
Under 2:20 to go, and a timeout has been called. Referees have not signaled who called it yet. Looks like it was an official's timeout. They're trying to get them out of the timeout as quickly as possible.
I think one of the officials thought it was a timeout. Thought that I'm pretty sure the line judge over here on Mason's sideline thought Mason called a timeout, blew it like they called a timeout, and then Mason's coaches were like, "We didn't use our timeouts there. We would never use our timeouts there," and they just had to get everyone back out on the field.
So snap out of the gun. They're going to throw, looking for a screen over the middle, and that hit a defender right in the chest. Max Kinninger almost threw that one right to Caleb Mills. Was trying to get it to Roland on a middle screen, and there was nothing there. 3rd down and 15, ball on the 20-yard line. Both of these defenses have stood tall throughout this game, getting stops on stops. The offenses have been showing diverse looks. They've been doing different things. But when they do those things, the defenses have been making the adjustments and doing the things they need to do to get them off the field. It's been very impressive on the defensive side tonight.
Yeah, it really has been. And if you're Williamson here, you're maybe expecting Mason to go back into that cover 2 or cover 4 that they've been running. It looks like it'll be cover 4 here.
4 receivers, rushing 5. Kinninger throws, hit as he throws, incomplete. And the punt unit will come on once again. $1:55 left in this 4th quarter. Punt is away. They got really good pressure in on that. It'll be fielded at the 48. Coming back over the 45, down at the 40-yard line. 12-yard return. And Mason will have really good field position for this final push with 1:46 to go. On the return, Brett Camp once again.
Chambers, Mason football, first down.
So here we go. Last chance on offense for Mason in regulation. Ball on the 40. Clock is moving. 1:35 to go. They got 1 timeout left. 4 receiver set. Code in the gun. Takes the snap. Has some time. Now pressure comes backside. Throws deep down the seam. Got a man. He's got him inside the 15. 10, 5. Touchdown. Connor Vondra. His 2nd touchdown of the game, and the Bulldogs take the lead with 1:15 to go. A quick strike right down the seam. They've been trying to get him the ball all night. They've been scheming ways to get him the ball. Just run him down the seam, let him outrun everyone, and throw it over the top. 18-12 with 1:15 to go.
Easy play there for the Bulldogs. That everyone knew that was where that was going. That is such a good play design. It's basically saying our scheme is better than your scheme, and we have a way better athlete than you have in Connor Vondra. And they just let Vondra run. No one can catch up to him. Easy touchdown pass.
Extra point will be upcoming for the Bulldogs. 18-12. Mason finally breaks this deadlock. What's been one of the best JV games you'll ever see between 2 really fun teams. That one might be the game decider. I want to thank all of our sponsors once again. Our community sponsors for tonight's game, the Studio Shop in Williamston and Robert Dowden Group at Keller Williams Realty. Also want to thank Old Nation in Williamston, Cannonball Pools, Keens of Mason, Launch Trampoline Park, Ideal Mortgage Services, Sunnyside Cafe in Williamston, Mert Specialty Meats in Okemos, Red Cedar Transfers and Fabiano's Grocery and Deli. They're the ones who make these broadcasts possible. So thank you to them. You're keeping the lights on around here. 1:15 to go. They're going to put the offense out there to go for 2.
I mean, Matt says to, especially since they know Williamston themselves will go for 2.
4 receiver set. Coat takes a snap. Quick throw left side. Got him. On the slant. Hunter Thorne. 2-pointer is good. 1:15 to go. And you're absolutely right. Especially given that Russian blocked the extra time. Really outless for 2. A lot of sense to go for 2 there. Mason executes. They're up 20-12.
Yeah, easy play there for the Bulldogs. That was a nice little slant route and press man coverage. Just a little pitch and catch. Yeah, it's almost a guaranteed 2-point conversion there, especially when you're tossing it to one of your better receivers.
Seconds left in this fourth. Williamston will need to go the length of the field. They got 3 times. Scored on a 30-yard reception. Cooper Rowland broke out a 48-yard run. They've got guys who can make big plays, and we've seen tonight. They're going to need 1 or 2 of those here in this final minute 15.
Yeah, I would watch out for that bang 8 or the deep post route, whatever you want to call it, that Griffin Hamilton scored and almost got another big play on earlier in the game before he scored. I would watch out for Hamilton on a deep post or bang 8 route, depending on what you want to call it.
This away. It'll hit and return for the Hornets. Exactly what they needed if they're going to try to get some points on this drive. 1:08 to go. 3 timeouts. They're going to need 58 yards.
Wow. Dunlop had the patience of a Buddhist monk right there to find that gap. He was sitting and waiting to find a little crevice. He took the one spot that was open for him and got a huge gain from where he made that cut. That was probably 20, 25 yards from the point he made that cut. What a play.
Out here, which makes sense. The clock does run after a kickoff. So Hornets will take their first time. It saves the... We need the end zone. 60 do it. Here's what we're going to... Coach Tom, you're Williamston's offensive coordinator. What's the play call here on 1st and 10?
Oh. Well, as a joke, go triple option here, and that would always is the best play in football. But realistically, Williamston's going to go from this open formation. You would expect them to do a smash concept on one side, maybe a go and a hook on the other.
The snap. Kinniger wants. Reverts. They literally went full NCAA football and just sent everyone deep.
They were crosser forwards, though, at the beginning. Within the first 5 to 10 yards, the outside and inside receivers switched what lane they were running in, and that kind of confused Mason's pass coverage a little bit. It eventually got covered on the back end by the safeties, but down low, it was really open to the outside.
And they're going to accept roughing the passer. Yard penalty. That'll put them all up at the 43-yard line. So the Hornets will get 15 yards and essentially a free timeout as well. Clock will stop with 1 minute to go. 4 receivers set. Tackle and he can't. Gain of a yard. Clock move. Get Dunlop open. Move. Maybe trying to catch Mason off guard a little bit, hoping that they were stepping back more into a prevent set. But Dunlop was brought down by the first man to hit him. Bulldogs secondary unfooled. And with 49 seconds to go, it'll be 2nd down and 9, ball on the 42-yard line. Reminder that tomorrow night we will have the varsity broadcast of this game from Williamston. Mason at Williamston. Mason 1-1, Williamston 0-2. These are two teams with playoff aspirations once again. Neither of them have gotten the start that they dreamed of. Williamston in a tough spot at 0-2. You can't label a week 3 game as a must-win, but this one feels something like a must-win for Williamston tomorrow.
I mean, if you look at Mason, they're terribly disappointed. They lost their regular season win streak with their loss to DeWitt last week. They currently have the CAAC Red win streak still going on, which they hope to extend for Williamston. But if they lose both win streaks in the same 2-week period, that'll be devastating for the Bulldogs.
4 receiver set. Kinninger throws deep down the seam, incomplete, lot of contact, no flag. Receiver, I think, I believe was the intended target.
You can hear Mason fans really begging for a holding call from the Williamston offensive line. I don't know if there is. I mean, I've been looking, but not exactly closely. I think it's just these Williamston offensive linemen are bullying this Mason defensive line right now.
Well, it's at the end of the game, right? You've been, rushing the passer all game. That's what happens. 4 receiver set. Those crossing streaks again, deep down the middle. It's overthrown. Everyone picked off by Mason. That's all game. Hunter Thorne makes the big play, and the Bulldogs are going to end this one.
What a game. Heck of a game here for the Bulldogs and the Hornets. Both of these teams are going to be really, really, really good in 2 years if this is what their varsities can play like.
What a JV game. Probably the best JV game I've ever seen. I'm not well.
I mean, as Glenn would say, as our producer Glenn would say, or chief meteorologist Glenn, it's not over till it's over. Anything can happen.
Clock is running. I don't even think they have to snap this football. So we can call this one pretty over. Mason going to walk out of here with a 20-12 win at home over Williamston in this JV clash. We have the varsity game tomorrow. Lansing 12. Join us then, but for now, the winners tonight. Williamston Hornets. For our producer, Glenn Dudasek, for Tom Lewandowski, I'm Colton Leslie. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow. Football on Lansing TV 12.